Buying a TV in 2025? Careful. It's never been easier to blow hundreds on a laggy, dim, overhyped screen. Today, we're breaking down 9 brands you should absolutely avoid, the hidden flaws that drain your wallet, and 3 buyer tips so you know exactly what to look for without making a costly mistake. Let's dive into the countdown. Let's kick things off with Insignia, Best Buy's very own safe bet. It's the TV you grab when you don't feel like thinking. Big store, familiar name, how bad could it be, right? Pretty bad? Insignia's built for convenience, not commitment. The power supplies and backlights? Weak, the kind that taps out right after the warranty ends. Repair guys even have a nickname for them, seasonal screens, because most don't survive a second holiday season. Even simple fixes can cost more than the TV itself, which is ironic because you bought it for being affordable. Start small, a flicker here, a dim corner there, then one day, half the screen dies mid-scene while the sound keeps going like nothing happened. It's like the TV quit before the characters did. You might try adjusting the settings, restarting it, even pleading with it. Doesn't help? It's like arguing with a teenager who's already decided not to show up to family dinner. Sure, it runs Roku or Fire TV, so setup feels smooth, but give it a few months and it slows down like an old laptop. Menus lag, apps crash. The remote takes a vacation every other day. It's a smart TV that forgets how to be smart. Streaming a movie turns into a patience test. Fast forwarding? Forget it. Buffering? Guaranteed. And don't even think about multitasking. This thing struggles just to pick a profile. One buyer nailed it. We barely used it, and it's already showing lines. Guess we'll buy another brand? That's not an upgrade cycle. That's a loop of regret. Insignia sells peace of mind wrapped around disposable parts. It's the illusion of safety from a store that knows you'll be back soon. For another one, a familiar logo doesn't equal reliable hardware. It's just branding with stage makeup. It's the TV equivalent of comfort food that gives you heartburn the next day. Looks satisfying, but don't expect it to last. A familiar name on a screen that forgets to show up for work. And if you think that's bad, wait till you see Walmart's house brand, where cheap meets chaos in glorious HD. Next up, Onn. Walmart's proud experiment in how low a TV can go before it stops qualifying as a TV. At first glance, it's a dream deal. Big screen, smart features, that sweet, sweet price tag. You think, finally, something affordable that actually works. Yeah, not so much. The thrill of the bargain lasts about as long as the warranty. Unbox it, plug it in, and your hopes are high. Fast forward a few weeks, and reality slaps you in the face. Underneath the shiny Roku or Google TV interface sits bargain bin hardware gasping for air. The picture processor's so weak, it taps out during motion scenes. Watch a game? Players leave ghost trails like they're sprinting through fog. Dark scenes? Say hello to glowing corners and cloudy blotches. Trying to stream an action movie? Forget smooth motion? It's like watching a slideshow with epilepsy triggers. Even the simplest scene can look like a digital lava lamp. And then there's the quality control, or lack of it. 2 identical models can look totally different out of the box. One decent, one disaster. It's visual roulette with worse odds. Buy 2, get 1 disaster? That's how Onn rolls. You never know if you're getting a functional TV or a modern art project. Owners say it all the time, good for the price. Until a few months later, flickering, lagging, backlights dimming faster than your patience. Walmart's price wins at checkout, but your sanity loses the rematch. And don't even try firmware updates. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it turns your TV into a paperweight faster. Consistency is not Onn's strong suit. One buyer summed it up best. It was fine until the Super Bowl. Every time the camera moved, the field blurred. I ended up watching the scoreboard instead. And that's Onn in a nutshell. A screen that looks great on a shelf, but gives up once you hit play. It's like a deal that self-destructs right after unboxing. The kind of bargain that makes you nostalgic for VHS tapes, because, at least back then, the tape played until the end. Cheap up front, expensive in regret. Ever tried an Onn TV and actually liked it? Or did yours ghost through every game too? Tell me below. And if Walmart's discount disaster wasn't enough, the next brand shows how nostalgia can trick you, because old names don't always mean old quality. Remember Westinghouse? The name that screams American classic? Yeah, don't let that fool you. Today, it's basically nostalgia packaged in disappointment. The box might look respectable, but what's inside? A reality check. Once, Westinghouse built radios, power plants, and all sorts of gear that actually lasted. Now, the logo just hangs out on cheap TVs made by whoever licenses it. That heritage you're paying for, gone the second you hit power. You expect pride and reliability, and what you get is, well, let's call it creative interpretation. Turn it on and brace yourself. Half the screen might glow, the other half throws a gray tantrum. Sometimes it goes full blackout while the sound haunts you like a ghost. Colors, tired, whites, dimension, motion, like a slideshow from 1999. Watching a movie, more like a test of patience. Even channel surfing feels like a gamble. You never know which pixel disaster is coming next. And good luck with support. Parts are also rarer than a polite YouTube comment. Repairs often cost more than the TV itself. One owner said, "After my Westinghouse died, I didn't even call support. Too scary to try again." Spoiler, that's the rule, not the exception. And let's be honest, you'll be scared to try again too. So yes, the brand whispers legacy, but the screen screams has been. Westinghouse isn't making a comeback. It's a rerun nobody asked for. Heritage? Sure. Functionality? Not so much. The only thing you can count on is frustration wrapped in a familiar logo. And speaking of TVs that barely make it past year one, the next one proves that chasing the absolute cheapest price usually means signing up for frustration from day one. You might save a few bucks, but you'll pay in headaches. Literally, from the moment you plug it in. Number 6 on our list is Element, the brand that turns budget-friendly into barely functioning. You've seen it online. Big screen, smart features, shockingly low price. You think, perfect for the guest room. What could go wrong? Everything. Element isn't designed to impress. It's designed to exist. It's a brand that survives on impulse buys, not performance. You get the illusion of value until reality kicks in. The panels? Inconsistent. Some too dim, others flickering like a bad horror movie. Corners glow, colors drift, and motion turns every chase scene into a watercolor painting. It's like the pixels gave up halfway through the show. And that signature issue everyone mentions, sound but no picture? Yeah, that's not a fluke, it's a feature. The backlights fail faster than your patience. One day you're watching Netflix, the next, you're listening to it like a podcast. Repair pros have a running joke. Element TVs don't die, they just fade away dramatically. The build is that fragile. Cheap LED strips, loose connectors, and panels that behave like they're allergic to power. Even a light tap on the HDMI port feels like a game of electrical Jenga. And when it does fail, don't bother calling. The warranty might as well say good luck, and the support emails read like AI breakup texts. Most repair shops won't even touch them. It costs more to fix than to replace, which is exactly how Element wins. One buyer said it best. Bought it for a spare room. Barely used it. One day, no picture. Sound still worked though. Guess it's a radio now. That's the Element experience. A TV that works just long enough to make you believe in it. It promises simplicity, but delivers failure dressed as affordability. Has anyone here ever owned an Element? Did yours last longer than a year? Or did it pull the same no-picture trick? And if you think that's bad, the next brand is a masterclass in turning privacy, patience, and performance into one big trade-off. Let's talk about Vizio, the brand that made premium picture for less sound like the deal of the decade. Sleek design, shiny marketing, buzzwords everywhere. QLED this, full array that. On paper, it looks like the smart choice. The reality? It's smart, all right, just not for you. Vizio's picture looks fine out of the box. Crisp, bright, colorful. Then you actually start using it, and the nightmare begins. The SmartCast operating system feels like it's powered by a hamster on dial-up. Slow to boot, slower to respond. Menus lag, apps freeze. Sometimes it just forgets Wi-Fi exists. It's like the TV is buffering its own thoughts. Adjust brightness, lag. Change inputs, lag. Open Netflix, grab a snack, maybe two. Every command arrives a few seconds late, like your TV's politely thinking about it first. Owners joke that buying a Vizio means learning 3 ways to reboot it before you ever finish a movie. You'll spend more time restarting it than actually watching anything. And if you somehow make it through an episode without crashing, congratulations! You've won the Vizio lottery. But lag isn't the only issue. There's the privacy thing. A few years ago, the FTC fined Vizio for quietly tracking what users watched. Every show, every app, every channel, and selling that data to advertisers. So not only is your TV slow, it's nosy. Imagine paying for a screen that spies on you, then lags while doing it. That's Vizio in a nutshell. A discount dressed as a deal, powered by your personal data. It wants to be the hero of affordable quality, but ends up being the villain of frustration. You don't buy a Vizio, you adopt a problem with great picture quality. Now, if you think that's invasive, the next brand proves you don't need spyware to feel betrayed. Just a legacy name and parts that quit before the credits even roll. Time for RCA, the brand that proves not every comeback deserves applause. Once upon a time, RCA was the name. Radios, record players, TVs. They built the soundtrack of America. If it had wires, RCA made it better. Fast forward to now, and that legacy? Just a marketing sticker on a mystery box. Today's RCA isn't really RCA. The name's rented out to whoever's willing to build cheap. Third-party factories slap on the logo, cut corners, and call it heritage. Inside, you'll find flimsy circuit boards, outdated chips, and ports that feel like they'll snap off if you look at them wrong. It's a smart TV in the same way a microwave is a chef. Technically true, practically useless. The viewing experience doesn't help. Blacks look gray, colors drift, and the sound is so thin, you'll swear it's coming from inside a tin can. Some models even need special HDMI adapters. And, of course, they're not included. It's DIY frustration, straight out of the box. One buyer nailed it. Bought an RCA TV for Christmas. Needed adapters just to plug it in. After all that, the screen wouldn't even turn on. Only the sound worked. Never again. That's not bad luck. That's RCA's business model. And when it breaks, and it will, good luck getting help. Warranties bounce between random companies, customer service goes silent, and repair shops won't even take them in. It's the kind of brand where even the manual feels like it's given up. RCA used to stand for quality. Now it stands for really couldn't afford better. The name screams history. The experience whispers heartbreak. Heritage doesn't mean much when the hardware's straight from the bargain bin. Hard to spot, right? That's exactly why you'll want the buyer tips coming up. They'll save you from falling for traps like these. Because if you think this is disappointing, the next brand takes cutting corners and turns it into a manufacturing philosophy. Before we move on, if you want to make sure you don't waste a bunch of money, hit subscribe and thank me later. Now, let's talk about Scepter, the brand that screams go big or go home, but delivers big headache or regret. You'll spot it in every budget aisle, screaming deals that sound too good to be true. A 65-inch TV for less than a long weekend? Tempting, right? Until you actually turn it on. Scepter's business model is simple. Make the screen as big as possible, spend as little as possible. Everything else, color, contrast, and motion, gets left behind. The panels are among the weakest you'll find. Blacks turn gray, shadows glow, and bright spots bloom like someone's shining a flashlight through the glass. Even skin tones look off, like every actor forgot sunscreen. Action scenes? Forget it. The motion blur is so bad it's like watching sports through a foggy window. The ball, the players, the camera, all blend together in one giant smear. Then there's the interface. It feels like time traveling to 2008. Slow menus, clunky layouts, and an input delay that makes you wonder if the remote's shy. Change a setting, grab a snack, and it still won't have responded when you're back. Physically, it's no better. The casing feels hollow, the sound is flat, and every button press comes with a hint of regret. When something breaks, which happens more often than you'd hope, tech support's magic fix is always the same. Unplug it for 10 minutes. Apparently, that's the Scepter prayer. One buyer summed it up. I bought a 65-inch Scepter thinking it'd feel cinematic. Instead, it looked washed out and lifeless. My friend's smaller TV looked better. Scepter gives you size without soul, square footage instead of quality. It's the TV version of fast food. Cheap, filling, and instantly regrettable. Before we move on, have you ever bought a Scepter because it looked like a steal? How did that go? Let me know below. I'm betting on horror stories. And speaking of disappointment, the next brand proves even a legacy name can lose its magic once it's sold to the lowest bidder. Coming in at number 2, we've got Toshiba, a name that used to mean rock-solid Japanese engineering, and now, well, let's call it vintage disappointment. You see the logo and immediately trust it. Decades of reliability train you to expect quality. That's the trap. Nostalgia whispers, they've been doing this forever. How bad could it be? Pretty bad, as it turns out. Toshiba is mostly just a label now. Often, it's slapped on budget models made by other companies. His sense, usually, you're buying a legacy without the legacy builders. Open the box, and it's a stripped-down display wearing a famous logo. Inside, cost-cut corners everywhere, weak panels, outdated processors, contrast ratios so poor that shadows look like someone spilled gray paint on the screen. HDR? Barely there? The picture feels flat, tired, and oddly lifeless, like watching your favorite movie through a foggy window. And that smart experience? Dumbed down. The Fire TV platform crawls like it's running on borrowed Wi-Fi. Menus lag, apps freeze. Sometimes the system crashes just for fun. You'll spend more time staring at loading icons than the actual show. Gamers don't fare any better. Many models skip HDMI 2.1, so you're stuck with lag that makes every movement feel like it's happening underwater. Good luck playing anything fast-paced, unless you enjoy delayed reactions and pixel ghosting. One buyer said it best. I thought I was getting that classic Toshiba quality. Instead, it's slow, dull, and struggles just to open apps. I had to plug in a streaming stick because the built-in system was unbearable. Toshiba's biggest flaw isn't just performance, it's identity. The brand's been hollowed out and rebranded as nostalgia bait. It sells comfort to people who remember what it used to be, not what it is now. It's not Japanese engineering anymore. It's emotional marketing with a logo attached. And that brings us to number 1, the brand that turns all these mistakes into an art form. A masterclass in over-promising, under-delivering, and somehow still selling out. And finally, TCL, the brand that sells the dream of premium specs on a broke budget, big screens, QLED panels, Dolby Vision, Google TV, all the buzzwords, half the price. It's the perfect marketing trap. Why pay for Samsung when TCL promises the same thing for less? Simple, because it's not the same thing. TCL's biggest flaw is consistency, or lack of it. Buying one is like spinning a roulette wheel. Some look fine out of the box, others show flickering edges, uneven brightness, or ghosting after a few months. The panels vary so wildly that even two identical models can look like distant cousins. Motion blur, constant camera pans smear like melted butter, players leave ghost trails, and dark scenes glow in weird, blotchy patches. It's chaos in HD, and those 120 Hz refresh rate claims, most are fake, software tricks that simulate smoothness instead of actually delivering it. Then, there's the software itself. TCL's Google and Roku TVs run like they're carrying emotional baggage. Lag, freeze, reboot, repeat, menus crawl, apps stutter. Sometimes it just stops responding altogether, as if the TV's taking a personal day. Even when the picture looks decent, it rarely stays that way. Shadows glow gray, colors drift, and brightness fluctuates like a dying flashlight. It's showroom magic that vanishes the moment you get it home. One buyer summed it up perfectly. Got a TCL because it looked like a deal, but it lags, freezes, and randomly turns off mid-show. Feels like it's fighting me every time I use it. TCL is the definition of almost premium, almost reliable, almost worth it. It's the brand that wins you with numbers and loses you with experience. It promises champagne features at beer quality. And now that you know what to avoid, let's talk about how to buy smarter. The 3 buyer tips that'll save you from every trap we've just covered. Tip 1. Size by distance, not by vibes. Measure the distance from your couch to the TV, then size up intentionally. Around 2.5 to 3.5 meters, 8 to 12 feet, usually means 65 to 75 inches feels right. Too small, and you'll waste the 4K detail you paid for. Too big, and faces will look like pixelated portraits. The sweet spot is when text and details look crisp without effort. A simple rule. If you're squinting to read subtitles, go bigger. If the picture looks noisy or overwhelming, go smaller. Remember, comfort equals clarity, and clarity is what makes a screen truly immersive. The right size isn't about what looks good in store, it's about what feels natural in your space. Tip 2. Match panel type to room light. Your lighting should decide your TV, not the other way around. Bright living room with sunlight or overhead LEDs? Go for mini LED or QLED. Their high brightness and strong anti-glare coatings keep the picture vivid and detailed. Mostly watch at night or in a dim space? OLED is your winner for deep blacks, cinematic contrast, and true-to-life shadows. Mismatch them, and you'll either get washed-out daylight scenes or blinding reflections during movie nights. A perfect match means effortless viewing, no squinting, and colors that stay honest at any hour. Think lighting first, panel second, because the right screen should complement your space, not compete with it. Tip 3. Don't trust demo mode. Store demos are designed to fool you. They crank up brightness, contrast, and saturation until everything glows like a candy ad. But that wow vanishes the moment you get home. Before buying, look up real-world reviews that test motion handling, black levels, and operating system stability. If multiple people mention lag, reboots, or crashes, believe them. Also, check YouTube side-by-side comparisons. You'll instantly see how showroom settings distort reality. Remember, the store is theater, your living room is real life. Don't buy for the aisle, buy for the space you'll actually watch in. That's the list. 9 brands to avoid, and the 3 buyer tips that keep you from wasting money. The goal isn't just a deal, it's buying smart, so every movie night looks and feels right. If you want to see the TVs that are actually worth buying, check out my next video, 8 Best TVs to Buy in 2025. It's packed top models that actually deliver.